Hello friends, this lecture is for 10th standard students and in this lecture we will be taking resistance in series and parallel and some shortcut methods for finding out the equivalent resistance. Okay, so this is my introduction. So as I've told you, we will be covering resistance in series and parallel, equivalent resistance, and then shortcut methods for finding out equivalent resistance. Okay, so you know that when three resistors R1, R2, R3 are connected in series, then the formula for equivalent resistance is given. It is addition of the three resistors. Similarly, when three resistors are connected in parallel, R1, R2, and R3, then what is the formula for equivalent resistance? It is 1 upon R equivalent equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Okay. So now let us see some shortcut methods for finding out the equivalent resistance when two resistors are connected in parallel. Okay, so this is the formula when two resistors are connected in parallel. So the formula for equivalent resistance is 1 upon R1 equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Now here there were three resistors, so 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 were there. Now since only two resistors are there, so the formula will be 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Okay, now we will do cross multiplication. So this is R1 plus R2 will come in the numerator. Okay, and R1 into R2 will come in the denominator. Okay, now I want to find out the value of R equivalent. So I will take the reciprocal. So if I take the reciprocal, it becomes R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. Correct. So this formula, multiplication is there in the numerator and addition is there in the denominator. Correct. So product of two resistors, that means multiplication is there in the numerator, and sum of the two resistors, that means addition is there in the denominator. Correct. So this formula becomes multiplication upon addition. Okay, so this formula we have to use. Correct. Now we will not be using this formula 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. What we will do is, for finding out R equivalent, directly we will multiply the two resistors and multiplication will keep in the numerator. We will add the two resistors and the addition we will keep in the denominator. Okay, so let us do it. Okay, now here two resistors are connected, 3 and 6. Correct. So I want to find out the equivalent resistance. Okay, so equivalent resistance, directly formula we will use. R equivalent equals to, what was the formula? Multiplication in the numerator, addition in the denominator. Okay, so let us do it. So multiplication is in the numerator. So it is 3 into 6 divided by, it will be 3 plus 6. So answer will be 18 upon 9. So answer is 2 ohms. Getting it? So directly we have found out the answer. Okay. Let us take one more example. Suppose this is 7 ohms and this is 3 ohms. Okay, again I find out the equivalent resistance. Okay, what is the formula? Directly multiplication in the numerator, 21, addition in the denominator, which is 10. So answer is 2.1 ohms. Okay, so in this way you can do it directly. So this is the first shortcut method that I have told you. Now let us go to the second shortcut method. Okay, so see, suppose this is 10 ohms and here also 10 ohm resistor is there. Okay, now let us do it by our formula, which was multiplication upon addition. Okay, so multiplication is 100, addition is 10 plus 10, which is 20. So answer is 5 ohms. Now, can you find any relationship between this 5 and 10? Yes, this 10 is equals to 5 into 2. That means whenever two resistors are connected in parallel and the two resistors are equal, then just you have to divide this resistor by 2. Correct. So 10 upon 2 will become 5 ohms. Okay, let us take one more example. For example, if this is 8 and this is 8. Okay, now whenever two equal resistors are connected in parallel, then no need to go for this formula. Correct. So don't use this multiplication upon addition. Directly you have to reduce it by half. So R equivalent is directly 4 ohms. Okay, so let us check whether this is correct or wrong. Okay, so this is 8 into 8. Correct. Which is 64 divided by 8 plus 8, which is 16. So this will be 8 is 64 divided by 16 equals to 4 ohms. Okay, so whenever two equal resistors are connected in parallel, then the equivalent resistance becomes half of the value. So no need to use this multiplication upon addition formula. Okay, so in this lecture we have studied resistors connected in series and parallel, then equivalent circuit or equivalent resistance, and then shortcut method for finding out the equivalent resistance. Okay, so this is the contact person which you can contact. You can also visit our website. You can subscribe to this lecture. Okay, so thank you so much for attending the lecture.